like a dash of winter snow at some starry skies. Look at those candles glow, lighten up the children's eyes.
Well, today I have a really interesting fan from 2005, well, from 2004 through 2005, made by Lasko. This is a really old Lasko Weathershield. Well, they made older ones, but this has been nicknamed by my friend Mike, the Thick Boy. Look at this beast. This is really similar to the modern Air King box fans that they make. For size comparison, and plug the cord on this one. It's a side-by-side comparison against it in the Lakewood 101. You can really see how thick this is. Hand comparison. So there's my hand on the 101. Here's my hand on the Lasko. Thick Boy. And we'll remove the 101 from the picture. We'll get a vintage fan. Actually, I need to turn this off anyway, because I was using it. But we'll put a vintage fan next to it. Same width as a vintage fan. So this thing is definitely older. Let me go put this back over here and plug the vintage boy back in. Mr. Everett Green. And I need to turn off the music in the other room so I don't get a copyright strike. Anyway, much like an Air King, this one is also grounded. Pretty beefy cord here. I have to say, I feel like the cords on the newer Air Kings are a bit more beefier than this. Because I have a cord from an Air King on a different fan I own. You can, it had its top part, and I did write Lasko there because I did for some reason. And it's not even in the center of the camera. Well, let's turn off the Lakewood so we can have a listen to this. And here's low speed. It's a bit noisy. Some people, honestly, it's quiet. Some people would argue that it's noisy. Compared to the Air King counterparts, this seems to be a bit quieter. This has the gray blade on it, too, by the way. I'm not sure if I mentioned it. I was actually able to get another blade for this one. Or I bought one off of Lasko's website because the blade on this one broke. I don't believe I made a video of it. I think I mentioned it a few times, but I did get a new blade for it. This is one of my favorites. I still don't really understand why I own this one and why it's still in my collection, but it's here. That's what I will say. It is most certainly here in my collection. Anyway, next speed. Medium. Medium and high are pretty noisy. It also has the same switch dial assembly that's on my my 90s 3733. This fan is made, I believe, is like made like 10 years later than that, and they still have the same knob assembly, which is interesting because I thought at this time they went to the different knob you would get around 2004 and 2005. I'm not sure if this has the recalled motor or not. This one's in okay condition. It was mint when I got it, but it has a bit of rust in the bottom of its case now because I used it outside when I went camping. High speed. It's a powerhouse, though. This thing really will get air moving. It's really noisy, too, so I have to speak up over it. I remember this being a lot louder. It's really strong, too. Not the most strongest thing, but it's definitely stronger than the normal blade 3733. This, I believe, is the same blade that Lasko uses on their Cyclone fans, and this also has a bigger motor. Being that this is an earlier 2000s model, it's a lot better made compared to the new ones. We'll turn this off. This is practically the same thing as the Air Kings that they sell today. Literally the same thing. So if you want one of these, you can go on Amazon and buy an Air King. I believe they're $30 for an Air King box fan. This thing is just spin down on this is really good. This thing had an alignment issue. So it had an alignment issue. issue for a long time, and I didn't know it was, so I had backside. Surprisingly, the cord's fairly long. The grounded cords on these are longer than the typical ones. It looks like a Weathershield. That's all I can say about it. There's no provisions for feet in the case. There's provisions on the sides for stands if you want to get the stand. I'm not sure if Lasko would have sold a stand with this, but they probably did. I don't know. Maybe they didn't, or maybe you can buy one for Air King. Maybe this was the same frame to use on Air King fans from the same time. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I really got to say. Thank you very much for watching, and keep the breeze.